Welcome back here to Burgess Snow Field at JSU Stadium as we are just about ready to get things going after an approximately 1 hour rain delay. We're just about ready to, really a lightning delay, but we had more rain than we did lightning.
Right,
Gerhard.
Absolutely. And it started about midway through the Glencoe game. It was light rain at first, then it got a little bit heavier. Right before the lightning struck, the AHSAA officials decided to go ahead and suspend the game because lightning was in the area. Took the safety precautions to do that. Lightning kept striking during the delay, so they kept resetting the clock. Sitting at about 50 minutes later from the time that they called the game, we're ready to play, and you see the teams warming up now.
The two teams that are warming up for this ball game, the Center Point Eagles from down in the Birmingham metro area. They are coached by Benny Hall. Hall is about to begin his third season as the head coach there. And then the Paul Bryant Stampede from the Tuscaloosa area. Could you be Paul Bryant and not be from the Tuscaloosa area? Eldrick Hill's the head coach there, beginning his second season. And Gerhard, they have been through a host of coaches, 4th in 6 years. And 5th in 13 years.
Absolutely. There's a lot of coaching turnover there with the Stampede, so we'll see how they can, get some, solid footing as they move forward. Now, spring is one of those times where whenever you have new coaches or new systems, new techniques, new wording in play, this is where you get to work all those things out. Being in the second season now, they've had one spring with them, one full season with them. It'd be interesting to see how they take the beginning of that second step with their new head coach.
So Paul Bryant and Center Point coming up here in just a moment. Now this format is going to be just a little bit different from what we've seen. In fact, we have 3 teams who are going to play each other for 1 quarter apiece in kind of a round-robin format. Right.
Each team prior to this game played 2 quarters, 15 minutes apiece, which basically turns out to be 2.5 quarters. A regular high school football game is 12 minutes, so basically adding 3 minutes to each quarter gives you 2.5 quarters. Now, Paul Bryant, Center Point, and later you'll see Munford, they will play in basically a round robin, as you said. So Center Point and Paul Bryant will start, and then Paul Bryant will stay on the field to play Munford, and then Center Point will roll off the field. Munford will then stay on the field. Center Point will come back. So we'll walk you through this entire thing, but we'll start with Paul Bryant and Center Point.
And so that'll be the first of the 3, and should be getting very close to getting this thing kicked off. As we said, we're about a 50 or 60 minute delay because of weather, and rain really hard through about as hard as I've seen it rain here in the stadium through part of that. But all that is passed through and headed over across the state line, and I think we are very close to getting things set and getting this first quarter going on. Center Point and Paul Bryant coming up.
Absolutely, and we got to a point where in the Glencoe game, we actually kind of lucked out because in the Glencoe game, the latter part of the Glencoe game is when the lightning really started striking, and so we were able to get this one underway.
And here actually is the first play from scrimmage. Ball out across the 30, out across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. An 11-yard gain. What looks to be a first down here on the first play from scrimmage.
Nice run there by Raylan Crooks coming out of that backfield position.
And there will be a whistle and a penalty flag thrown as the get ready to play here.
First flag of the game, and the flags have been kind of spotty really throughout this entire Gridiron Challenge. We've had flags really early on, and then teams clean it up. And in some situations, teams have come out and looked good early on and flags late in the game. So it's been really difficult to gauge where teams are at this point of the year, really at this point of the spring. Every team is excited to come out and play somebody else outside themselves for the last about 10 days or so. All these teams have been practicing against one another, so this is the first time they actually have some real competition.
First down and 5 after the penalty. A little swing out to the near side and nowhere to run there for Spencer. He's going to lose yardage back to the 40-yard line. It'll bring up a second down and 11 from the 40.
Good makeup speed from Center Point's defensive backs, making sure Spencer got the football, but no more yardage. It will be second and long.
And there's movement there along the line of scrimmage as they snap the football.
And we have seen this really all day long. Really every game that I've called, we've had a situation where quarterback goes on a hard cadence and defensive lineman jumps off sides.
Here's some players to watch for center point. The defense, number 56, Namian McSwain. He's a junior defensive end. Number 33, Kente Cherry is a junior linebacker. Number 7, James Williams is a sophomore. He is a linebacker as well. Second down now from the 35-yard line. Second down and 16. Here's the give. And not much there. In fact, going further backwards. Back to about the 33-yard line. Number 24, Raylon Crooks. And it's going to be third down and long, back from barely to the 35-yard line. Quick throw, pass is intended for Zabrian Moore, but it is incomplete, and it'll bring up fourth down. And Paul Bryant able to move the football up the field, pick up one first down, but after that they went backwards. And they will mark off 30 yards for a punt, which will take the football back to the other 35-yard line.
A couple times in that drive, some promising yards, but the penalty really hurt them early on, and then two big plays lost some yardage for them, and so the center point offense will now roll out on the field. The field is still wet, though, so keep that in mind when we roll through these plays. Saw a couple balls slip through the hands of the receivers.
First offensive play now for center point. They'll give it to the tailback. And nice defensive play there for Paul Bryant as they stop Cheston Jones. Play loses a yard or so. Back to the 34-yard line. And here are some players to watch for center point on offense. Number 20, Gerhard gets to pronounce that first name.
Koski Steele.
There you go. Sophomore running back. I had confidence in you. Number 5, Cheston Jones is a sophomore. And number 6, Burroughs. Second down and 11. And another penalty flag goes to the ground.
Early on, a lot of penalties here in this game on both teams. And it's a lot of procedure penalties, penalties that you want to clean up really basically in the second half. A lot of times the teams that are making these mistakes early, they'll clean it up later in the second half. A lot of times it's the guys that are right there next to the football, closest guys in the entire building to the football on the defensive line.
Second down and 15. Quarterback overthrows his intended receiver. And it is going to bring up third down and 15, maybe 16. Ball be placed down at the 29, so really 16 will be a better call. Third down and 16 coming up for center point.
And I would expect to see a little bit of rust really from both teams because they got the chance to warm up earlier and then sat for 60 minutes, and then they got to warm up again, very, very slight warm up, and then back on the field.
So stop well short there, maybe picked up a couple of yards out across the 30 to the 31, but well short of the first down. It'll bring up fourth down, and they'll mark off 30 yards for a center point punt.
So good defensive stop by the Paul Bryant Stampede defense. Now we'll see if the Stampede offense can come back and find what they did well going into that first drive. Early going in that first drive, able to pick up a first down. Both these teams with a lot to play for as they look forward to the 2015 season. Both really want to improve on last year.
Snap back to the quarterback in the shotgun. And a little give over to Devin Holly. Not much running room there for Holly.
That's one of the players to watch. James Williams, number 7, the linebacker. It's a good-looking athlete for center point, coming up with a stop for the second play in a row. So dating back to last series, center point starts behind the chains.
That play lost about 1.5 yards. They'll work out of the shotgun. Man to the right of the quarterback, a little throw. Nice catch there by Moore. Moore picks it up at the 48.
Zabrian Moore with a nice diving catch here. Earlier, one kind of went through his fingers. There with a nice catch, and he's a big target for quarterback Reed Snyder.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 3 from the 47.
And again, we have another procedure penalty. This one, at least from our vantage point, will go on center point. You'll see if he's drawn offsides.
And that'll give him a 1st down.
It will, and that kind of play will drive coaches crazy. You have 3rd and 4, and basically not only do you give them the 5 yards, you also give them the fresh set of downs.
So 1st down, Paul Bryant from the center point 49-yard line. Pass intended for number 11, Andrees Spencer. And the pass is incomplete, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Spencer just basically looking for the soft spot of that zone defense that center point had.
Snap back to the quarterback. Give to his halfback. Moves forward for a couple of yards down to the 47-yard line, maybe the 46. It's going to be Raylon Crooks on the carry. It'll leave a 3rd down and about 7 yards to go for the 1st down.
Considering the success they've had with the hard count, won't be surprised if they try to do that.
There's a throw for a 1st down. Nice run inside the 30, inside the 25. Still going there is Moore. Moore down the sidelines, and he's in for a touchdown. Paul Bryant, 47-yard touchdown throw. Moore takes it down the sidelines.
That's the 2nd consecutive catch that Zabrian Moore's had that looked impressive. One, he was diving. The other one, he got the always coveted yak yards. We always talk about the yards after the catch, and this one resulted in a touchdown. He is a big target, and you can tell he's not afraid to go across the middle of the field. There ran a little post route, got open, able to outrun everybody else, break some tackles on his way to the end zone for the first score post-weather delay.
So now they'll line up to go for 2. Snap back to the quarterback in the shotgun. Throws, got a man, but he couldn't haul it in. Devin Hawley, the intended receiver. So the 2-point conversion is no good, and the score remains 6-0. Paul Bryant leading center point.
Here's another look at the touchdown play, and see the entire drive there by the Talladega Ford scoring drive. 5 plays, 60 yards, capped off by this touchdown by Zabrian Moore. The senior wide receiver is a big target, stands 6'2", and he used all of his frame to catch that football and get Paul Bryant on the scoreboard for the first time. And we talk about the way teams like to build. We talk about the way teams use spring games as a measuring stick for where they stand against other competition, as well as where they stand with themselves based on their production the season before and also in the 9 to 10 days they've had in spring practice. It's a good look here at Benny Hall in his 3rd season. He's added over 30 years of coaching experience. You see what he's done with the Eagles in 2 years, the 11th coach in the Irwin Center Point history of that program.
And here's a give on 1st down to number 25, Isaiah Martin. Martin's going to pick up about 3 yards.
Taking a look at the replay, it's a good job of sealing off guys, and those kind of offenses, you want to make your running back make one guy miss in order to make it work for positive yards, and he was able to do that.
They'll give him 4 up to the 34. Paul Bryant, a relatively new high school in Tuscaloosa. Snap back to the quarterback, and he's going to give it to number 5, Cheston Jones. And Jones up close to the 1st down marker.
It's a big pop there right by the sticks, and Jones knew exactly where he had to go, but give a lot of credit to the center point defense, especially the defensive back that came up to make the play there, as Jamarcus Burrell, number 15, is the sophomore defensive back, coming up and making the play there for the Stampeders, bringing up a 3rd and short situation. It's a good job there by the cornerback, playing physical at the point of attack.
3rd down and a yard to go. Give now to number 20, Dorian Brooks. And Brooks is going to have his first down out across the 40 to the 41. Needed a yard, he got 2.
Both teams rolling out some pretty big-time offensive linemen. You're seeing them right there in that shot. It's a good look at the quarterback getting his team ready for play here as center point begins another drive here in the first quarter. Once again, this game will run 1 quarter, as will all the other games in the round robin. A big play here, big play by Zane Samuel. A loss of about 5 yards here. Samuel on the blitz the entire way. He's not fooled by the play action, and really, it looked like center point really wasn't on the same page there.
Nice play there by Samuel. Play loses 6 yards back to the 35. So to bring up a 2nd down and 16. They'll work out of the shotgun with a man to the left of the quarterback. And he's in trouble again. He's going down all the way back at the 22. So they were up at the 41-yard line. They have gone backwards 19 yards back to the 22-yard line. That's going to make it a 3rd down and 29. That's officially 3rd down and a ton, Gerhard.
Absolutely, and one of the things that happens when you have 2nd and long, 3rd and long, is you let your defensive linemen just basically play free. Pin your ears back and go, and that's what we saw out of the center point defensive line. There's only 4 of them rushing. There was no blitz on the play because you had all your linebackers in secondary. 4 guys for Paul Bryant beat the 5 offensive linemen for center point.
And they're just going to give it. Nice hole up the middle, but not nearly enough out across the 25 to about the 31. Got about 9 yards, but the problem is they needed 29.
Right, that was one of the situations, just get what you can, and we will live to fight another day as they'll punt at 30 yards. So far, their defense has played pretty well, except for the big play that went to Zabrian Moore. So we'll take a look at what center point has coming up in the 2015 season. They'll go to Pleasant Grove. That's a very tough game. And then to Shays Valley to open up region play. Woodlawn at home, on the road at Gardendale. Then they'll play A.H. Parker, Clay Chalkville, one of the best teams in the state of Alabama, Huffman, Pinson Valley, Bessemer City, and McAdory.
There's a throw complete out to Chris Baker. And Baker will be forward up to the 50-yard line.
There, the Munford Lions coming in, and just like everybody else that's playing past this weather delay, they've had to kind of weather the storm just along with everybody else, and so they will play next. They will be on the field in 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Each one of these teams in this round robin, so to speak, will play 1 quarter against one another.
First down play now for Paul Bryant. And they'll pick up about a yard down to the 49.
Talk about new coaches and relatively new coaches, both with center point and with Paul Bryant. Munford also coming in with a new coach as well with Bill Smith. We'll have a lot more on that when the Munford Lions hit the field.
Down almost to the 2-minute mark. And there you see exactly 2 minutes. Throw out. Had a couple of receivers out there. Completed it out to Moore. And Moore is going to be down to about the 49, which is really no gain at all.
I think Snyder's found his go-to guy in this offense. It is definitely Zabrian Moore, and they had the blockers out there, but good job by center point, really recovering well and getting their guys moving laterally across the line of scrimmage, making sure Moore just goes east and west and not north and south. Very minimal gain.
So it's 6-0. Paul Bryant leading center point. We'll take a break and then be back in just a moment. The 2015 Gridiron Challenge. Back here at JSU Stadium, Burgess Snowfield, as you see a shot of the Munford Lions, they will play Paul Bryant next. And Paul Bryant, quarterback coming this way. And Snyder's going to be run out of bounds on the near sidelines. Back at about the 47-yard line. So it'll be 4th down.
I don't think Snyder liked what he saw going downfield. So he made the smart play and got out of bounds there. You know, if you're Paul Bryant, you really want that one back. It was 3rd and long, and now they're forced to punt. They'll simulate the punts and the kickoffs here. They'll take it about 30 yards, which is the average in a high school football game. They'll spot the ball on the 22-yard line.
Munford and Paul Bryant will play a quarter in the next game, and then Munford and Center Point in the final of this 3-game round robin.
Absolutely. And then after that, we have Spring Garden and Randolph County. Look in the middle of your screen there, you see number 88. That is Caitlin Rogers, the 2nd female athlete that we've seen play. And there she's getting picked on a little bit by her buddies on the football team. And both of them are kickers. Katie Smith for Glencoe was a kicker as well. Saw her in the last game. Caitlin Rogers is also a kicker for the Spring Garden Panthers.
3-yard gain out across the 25 to the 26-yard line there for Center Point.
Nice little pitch there, and very good defense, especially by big number 32, Rod Mayfield on the play. Brings up 2nd and about 6 from the 26-yard line.
Quarterback will be in the shotgun. See a man coming in motion. Bit of a high snap, but he handles it. Swings it out there to Cheston Jones. And Jones up to about the 35-yard line.
That's probably the best looking play that Center Point has run so far. Just a little slight toss out in the backfield to Cheston Jones, and Jones makes one guy miss, is able to move the chains and get the 1st down for Center Point. Go ahead.
So they pick up the 1st down from the 34.
If you're new to high school football, Center Point is the old Irwin High School. People might remember Irwin High School from the outside of the Birmingham area. That is now Center Point's new name.
In lots of trouble there. Center Point quarterback's going to be sacked inside the 20, back at about the 18-yard line.
It's a good-looking defensive lineman for Paul Bryant. Big number 12, Jai Smith on the tackle, aided by his buddy Dontarius Dukes, the linebacker on the play. I'll tell you what, Paul Bryant might have went 1-9 last year, but judging by the way they look so far, I think they'll pick up a couple more wins this season.
So that is the end of this period. Paul Bryant wins 6-0 over Center Point. And coming up next, Paul Bryant will stay on the field. Their opponent for the next period will be Munford. Center Point will take a break, and then after that, it'll be Center Point and Munford for 1 period of play. So 6-0, Paul Bryant with a win over Center Point. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back for Paul Bryant and Munford coming up in just a moment. This is the 2015 Gridiron Challenge from Jacksonville State.